What's going on, everybody? Serial Entrepreneur here for another episode for you YouTube subscribers. And really quickly, in this episode, we're going to talk about something a little different than digital marketing. We're actually going to talk about Bitcoin. Why? Because this channel was actually created for entrepreneurship, business ventures, investment, all of that. It's not just about digital marketing. I want to provide all kinds of different information for you guys. So we'll create a playlist that's just going to talk about investing. And specifically right now, we're talking about Bitcoin investing, all right? So stay tuned because here it comes. Alright everybody, so like I said, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin in this episode and why Bitcoin's important, what is Bitcoin, how you can get involved. If you're interested in getting involved, that's all going to happen right here in this episode. If you see me looking at my phone, it's because I have my notes on my phone, so I might look down at that every now and again, just so you're aware. But let's go ahead and get started. What is Bitcoin? Well, essentially, Bitcoin is just a digital currency, okay? So what I like to kind of relate it to is PayPal. Think of it like PayPal credits, right? So if someone sends you money on PayPal, you have PayPal credit. Or if you send US cash to PayPal, you have PayPal credit. And you can use that PayPal credit to pay for things online, right? Well, same kind of concept with Bitcoin. It is a cryptocurrency or a digital currency that you can actually use to pay for things online. A lot of people are using it for investing right now because it is a huge trend, and it has a lot of upward motion and momentum as far as it gaining value. I believe in the last 2 months, it's went up almost $4,000 in value. Over the last year, it's gone up about $6,000 total, and it's expected to hit around 10 grand in the next year or so. So it's going up like crazy. That's why people are getting involved, and that's why it's becoming the biggest trend in investment right now. So just essentially understand, if you're wondering what it is, how it works, just think of it like a digital currency. Then you want to think of the exchange part of it, or the investment side of it. It's kind of like an investment market where there are exchanges, there are ups and downs with the value of the product itself. So it goes up and down on a regular basis, on an hourly, minutely basis. It goes up and down in value. So you think of it kind of like the stock exchange. But it's not on the stock exchange yet. It's not it's not federally regulated, so it's not the same as an actual stock portfolio or stock investment, but it's starting to move in that direction. All right, so that's kind of like a brief understanding of what Bitcoin is. If you have more questions about Bitcoin, if you're still not understanding, there's tons of content on YouTube about it, and you can just actually put your comments in the section below, and I'll be able to answer whatever questions you have after this video as well. So that's kind of what Bitcoin is. Now, is Bitcoin a scam? That's what everybody thinks Bitcoin is a scam. And why? Because Bitcoin has a lot of traction, because it's gone up in value so quickly? No. Most people think it's a scam because way back when it first started out, it was on the Silk Roads type of track, where people were using it online to pay for illegal items, things that you shouldn't get involved with, and it didn't get the best record, right? So people thought of it instantly as a scam. Not to mention, it is very sensitive. It can be hacked. It's online. So if you're not secure with your information, if you're not sending Bitcoin to the correct addresses, you're going to lose your money. And that's why it's important to do your research ahead of time. Now, there's way more security with regards to your actual finances. Why? Because it's decentralized. The banks aren't the ones monitoring the ledgers. It's done through a network of people, so it's much safer. And everything is secure because of the blockchain technology that basically builds the Bitcoin infrastructure. So blockchain is basically a network that whenever you do a transaction or start a transaction with Bitcoin, whether it be sending or receiving, it goes through a whole process and a network of people to approve that transaction. It goes based off of data and history. There's a lot. It's very intricate. There's a bunch of videos on how the blockchain system works. I recommend, if you want to learn more about that. I'm not the best at explaining it. I understand how it works, but as far as explaining it, I'm not an expert. So you guys do some YouTube research if you're trying to figure out what the blockchain is and how it works. There's a ton of great videos that explain how it works. But basically, it provides for more security for your transactions. Now, does that mean it's impossible to penetrate or to hack? No, nothing's impossible to hack. That's why big banks get hacked all the time, and not all the time, but they do get hacked. But there are security measures in place with this that in the future will make it even more secure than any form of payment that is available now. It is already one of the most secure forms of payment due to the rare chance that someone is able to produce a mathematical equation that lines up directly with what you're trying to have happen with regards to your transaction. Like I said, it gets very, very complicated, so we won't go too far into it. Look into blockchain technology and see how that works if you want to learn a little bit more. So next, how do you make money with Bitcoin? All right, so there's a couple ways that people are making money with Bitcoin. Basically, the first way is obviously just investing in Bitcoin and day trading it. You know, they're buying Bitcoin, they buy when it's low, sell when it's high. You can do that just like any other stock market. Another way is people are looking at Bitcoin lending. So Bitcoin lending, you can use a platform called BitConnect, and BitConnect actually is paying out 1 to 2% profit per day. So I'll put it to you in layman's terms. If you put 10 grand into BitConnect and lend it out, you'll be making roughly $3,000 to $4,000 a month profit that they pay you every single day. They make payouts every single day on your profit. So if you put in about 10 grand, your revenue will be around 3 to 4 grand per month in profit. That's insane, right? And that doesn't even go into their referral program. They have a whole referral program where you can make percentages off of every person that invests that you bring onto their platform. There's tons of great ways to make money with that. Not to mention you can exchange Bitcoin or BitConnect coin, because that is an altcoin in its own. If you're not familiar with what an altcoin is, an alternative coin, so basically it's just another form of Bitcoin, but all of them are based on Bitcoin. Think of Bitcoin as the gold standard, right? So gold is the standard for the US currency and all of the other resources, right? Think of Bitcoin as the same. All right, it is the gold standard for all of the other altcoins. Their pricing is their value is roughly based on the original Bitcoin or the gold standard. Okay, so BitConnect coin, you can trade that. You can actually do a ton of different things with that. You can do computerized or automated buying and selling processes where you set up computers to buy and sell for you. But there's tons of ways. Altcoins, I mentioned that. So that's another way you can actually generate revenue with Bitcoins. Altcoins are being introduced all the time, and it's great to buy into a new one and then sell out when they launch, because you're going to make a huge amount of profit right there. Or you can save and wait till they spike up, kind of like a few of the other altcoins have done. Ethereum has actually gone up. It skyrocketed when Bitcoin skyrocketed. Litecoin skyrocketed when Bitcoin skyrocketed. So even if you had a few thousand shares there, you're making big dollars because you were in right before it took off. So why would you make money in Bitcoin, or why would you want to make money in Bitcoin? Because now is the time to get in it before it gets too big. See, they had their first surge here. It's actually been around since about 2008, 2009. Now the technology has existed since the 90s when they first started looking into digital currencies, online processing, stuff like that. The technology came to fruition when Satoshi actually put it together. He's an anonymous coder that nobody really knows who he is, but he's the one who built the Bitcoin technology and put all of the blockchain resources together to make it secure, right? This is the time, because in 2008, 2009, it was launched. It didn't get a ton of value. People saw Bitcoin as just some scam or some weird thing that, you know, was just like a fad. But eventually it took off. There is what's called the exponential effect that goes along with it, because it's actually a deflationary currency. It's not an inflationary currency where, for example, the US dollar, you can just print it over and over again, right? So it inflates with value, all right? There's only a finite amount of Bitcoin available, and it's actually going to decrease in value because people will lose Bitcoin, people will send it to the wrong addresses. You know, there's going to be tons of things that make the actual total amount of Bitcoin decrease over time because people will lose it, right? So over time, it's supposed to do nothing but go up in value. You know, over the next year, it's supposed to be at $10,000, which is a huge milestone considering that earlier this year, it was sitting at around, I think, $700. So it's a really, really interesting time to get in right now, because like I think I put $1,000 in, and within 3 days I made $300 just off of the actual investment going up in value. All right, that's not even considering daily profit share using BitConnect or anything like that. So Really, really great time to get in, and I keep telling people this is the time you want to get started. If you're going to buy, it's not too late to buy before the peak. It's not done growing. I'm telling you that much right now. So how do you get started? Well, I'm going to provide a link down below, and that's for Coinbase, a platform called Coinbase. And if you sign up with Coinbase, all you have to do is basically integrate your bank account to it, which it does very easily, and then you just purchase a specific amount of Bitcoin. That's it. Or Litecoin or Ethereum. And that's it. But the link below is actually going to get you free Bitcoin when you sign up using my link. So you get an extra $10 worth of Bitcoin absolutely free when you use that link. So if you're deciding, or you're kind of on the edge, but you're thinking about purchasing, I'd use that link if you do decide to purchase, but you want to make your decision quickly because the value is changing on a regular basis. Like, I think in the last 3 days, it's gone up $700 to $800 in value alone. It's insane how much money that there is to be made just off of this, and you don't do anything. It's all automated. Your BitConnect lending, if you want to do that, automated. I'll provide the link for BitConnect down below too. Let me see, your actual purchasing of Bitcoin, that's automated. You don't do anything. If you're trying to do computer-based buying and selling where they do it for you, that's automated. You're not doing anything. This is another form of automated income where you can make easy money, and all you have to do is put all the profit you make, keep putting it back in until you have 10 grand put into BitConnect. Or keep putting money back in until you're making your revenue back off of the Bitcoin investment. But it's not too late to get involved. You have to take action now though. So that's it for this video. I just wanted to give you guys a quick intro into Bitcoin. We're going to be doing some more episodes on Bitcoin as this industry develops and as it continues to grow, because I'm all about hopping on industries as they're growing and as they're getting bigger. So I'm going to keep you guys updated. There is one last thing that I want to mention. It's called the fork. If you're not familiar with the fork and you have purchased Bitcoin already, you need to do some research on the fork. It's happening around like the 13th to the 18th. They're not 100% sure yet. But basically, you're going to get free Bitcoin. You get to get free Bitcoin, like thousands of dollars worth. If you have $1,000 invested in Bitcoin, they're going to give you $1,000 worth of the new cryptocurrency, which is SegWit2. We're going to talk about SegWit2X here pretty soon, but that's where Bitcoin is going to do a big split, and you're going to be able to monetize and make a lot of money off of that split if you pay attention and do it the right way. So get invested now. Check out the links below. Until next time, guys, Serial Entrepreneur out. Deuces.